Welcome to Soapdish. And my co-host, Luann Perschau. Welcome back, Luann. It's been a couple weeks.
Yes,
How
it
are you
has,
doing?
Mark. I'm doing great, and
Wonderful.
good to see you. A happy Halloween to all of our listeners. And Minnesota survived a little snowfall, and we had beautiful weather here. But down in Florida right now, at least in Cape Canaveral area, temperatures are in the mid 70s, but we have really, really strong winds. So.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, so I avoided walking on the beach today because it would blow me away. Too
So
windy.
you're a little bit inland. Does that make a big difference in terms of wind versus the beach?
Yeah,
Because you got a lot of buildings blocking some wind, I would
right,
think.
right on the beach like we are. We're a block away from the beach.
Yeah, you're not
It
too
still
far off.
I'm not too far, but it still can be quite windy. And
Really?
and when you get more inland to Orlando or somewhere there, it's not as bad.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I'm coming to see you here shortly in about a month, or Suzette and I are, so we're pretty jazzed about that.
I know. We're looking forward to having you here in
it'll be
Florida.
fun.
A little break.
Yep, exactly. All right, let's talk Young and Restless.
Okay, look forward to it.
All right. So Victor continues to show, let's talk about this first. Victor continues to show signs of memory loss. A few weeks ago, I think it was, he was confronted by Nick and Victoria.
Yes.
And he seems to admit at that point, because they kind of confront him about that he's faking it, the memory loss. And he kind of admits to it at that point.
Yes.
Go ahead.
He admitted it a little bit to
A
Nick.
little bit. Yeah.
A little bit more with Nikki. He's being a little more open and honest with Nikki, and that's why, it's very confusing because in yesterday's episode, Nick and Victoria confronted him and said, Victoria said, "Hey, Nick filled me in that you're just faking this all to, rule out that one of us isn't trying to, come against you." And he played. I was surprised at his response, and he said, "I did. I don't remember saying anything like that." And Nick is giving him a look like, "What do you mean? You told me that you were, making, just faking us, just to let us, see,
Trying to
pull
snuff
up."
out who the traitor, he thinks there's a traitor
Correct.
within Newman Enterprises, and he's
Right.
trying to figure out who that is.
Correct.
And he kind of
And-
suspects Nick, Victoria, Adam, and maybe Nate. But I have
Yes.
I'm going to hold that because I've got some thoughts on that later,
Okay. Yes.
on
So,
who it is.
Oh, okay. So Nick and Victoria, when they left, Victor seemed kind of confused and surprised too. Because Nick was saying, "Hey, he admitted to me last week," and now all of a sudden he's saying he doesn't know again. Remember
He's
that
either
conversation.
doing a hell of an acting job on the
With them?
dementia part, or he does have it.
Or he truly is
Or he
in and
truly
out.
is having problems, yeah. Right. In and out,
Yeah,
which is
right.
not uncommon. So, that wouldn't be unheard of.
Right.
All right. All right. So Victor seems to only trust Nate. Meanwhile, Nate is being courted by Aunt Mamie to join the family at Chancellor Winters.
Yeah, and she's been real. She had lunch with him to try to court him,
Court him.
And say, come to Chancellor Winters. This is why I'm buying this company, or putting buying a share in the company,
Sure.
because I want you to be part of our family again, and have everything good between you and Lily and Devon. And Nate is kind of saying, "I don't know if this is going to work. You have it's a good plan, but I don't think it's going to work for him or for Lily and Devon to accept him."
Exactly. Because of their big falling out back when he was being a traitor within the company when he left and then joined Newman.
Correct.
All right, so Adam seems genuinely worried about Victor,
Yes.
and he recently contacted a psychologist that he knows.
Yes.
And the psychologist said I can't diagnose without seeing him, which of course would be true.
Right.
Anyway, so Adam's trying to kind of get the family with Nick and Victoria to say we should maybe. Can we talk him in? Can we work on Dad to get him to go in and get tested?
Right. And I agree with you that I believe that Adam is sincerely concerned and worried about his dad to go that step. And then, when he brought it up to Victoria and Nick seemed a little more accepting of it. Victoria was like, no, we could take care of it. This is our dad. And Adam's like,
yeah,
no,
you're out. We'll take care of it.
Yeah. And Adam is like, no,
basically telling Adam, we'll take care of it. You stay out of it.
You stay out of it, because Victoria wants him to have nothing to do with that, with her father. And Nick seems a little more on the line there with, Adam has a good idea and we'll see. And Adam said, hey, he's my father too. And I'm genuinely concerned.
And he's right. I mean, I'm not a huge Adam fan, but in this case, he's right. And I think Nick is starting to warm up to the idea that Adam might actually have might have genuine feelings. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
I agree. He's not just a robot that's conniving and doing whatever.
Out to see how he can kind of screw the family, right?
Yeah, and for his own benefit, however he can make some benefit for himself. That's kind of where he's been at. But, yeah.
In the end, that's always Adam's his
that's where he
goal.
ends up. Yeah. Yep. All right. So this week, and I can't remember if it was today or yesterday, but anyway, Victor is confronted again by Nick and Victoria, as you mentioned, and he acts like he doesn't know what he's talking about. So we've covered that, so we can move on.
Right.
Yeah. Next topic is, it's been revealed that Aunt Mamie is tied to Tucker.
I thought it was interesting how that came out. With Nate. That was when Nate was having lunch with Mamie, and her phone beeped and rings.
A text, whatever.
Yeah. And Nate looked at it, and you could see it was Tucker. And it was kind of like, okay, what's up here? For Aunt Mamie.
Especially when there should be no connection between those two.
Right. Because you had a little premonition about this, that it might be Tucker with Mamie.
Oh yeah. Damn it! I like it when I'm right.
I know. Because we were trying to guess who her little silent partner might be, and you said it could be Tucker, and it was like, why would she ever join forces with Tucker? But she did, and I think because she wants to oust Jill, or get on the bad side of Jill.
That's the motivation here.
Yeah.
Hey, Luann, I like it when I'm right because I'm so rarely right. That I impress myself.
Yeah, we'll put 1 mark for Mark.
Yeah. First time. Right all day. All right, so Mamie goes to Tucker here now once she realizes how pissed off the family is about Tucker.
Yes.
And says, I don't want you involved any further, that kind of thing with Chancellor Winters.
Right.
The only thing is, Luann, and maybe if clarify this for me, but I would think if he's the money, I don't know how she could just kick him off or kick him to the curb. I was having a little trouble with that.
Yeah, because Ashley enlightened Mamie on who Tucker really is, and what he's all about, and when she said, well, you're out, when she went to visit him, said, you're out, I'm going to get another partner. And it's like, Mamie, unless she has some other contacts with money, but who are you going to get? And Tucker said, hey, your goal was to, get into Jill's company. And my goal is to take over Chancellor Winters. And I think he's not doing it for himself. He's doing it for Devon. But,
at least that's what he said.
Yes. And, and so it'll be interesting where, I don't know how Mamie could just turn him off, and unless she has someone in the back pocket that has some money too. Yeah,
but still, you would think he would have to agree to it. Although I suppose on paper, she's the part owner, so he'd have a hard time proving.
Correct. Because he was kind of like the silent partner. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know either.
So it'll be interesting. Mm-hmm.
And I have to keep in mind, it is a soap opera. Sometimes it's not actually very realistic.
And sometimes they don't show us everything that's going on in the background on some of these plot lines too. And then all of a sudden it happens. It's like,
they'll show a scene. It's like, well, when the hell did I miss that?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I agree with you.
Partially because I think they're changing a storyline, so then they have to go back and film something that allegedly occurred. You know what I mean?
Oh, sure, yeah, probably.
I don't know. Just a thought. All right. Ashley returns to Genoa City.
Right.
I was a little surprised, although not really, but maybe at the timing a little bit.
Yes. Because all of a sudden she just showed up. All of a sudden she just showed up, and
I thought there'd be some indication that she's coming back, but all of a sudden she was just there.
Right. And, and Jack had warned her not to go to see Tucker, and she still went to see Tucker. And, that didn't go as well, and especially for Tucker, he was not real happy with that, how it turned out. I think.
Right.
But he had to know that she was not interested.
How does he think he's going to meddle in that company, forever and ever, and then she's going to take him back? I mean, come on.
Right. No, there's no way. I still think after she said the I do's that she regretted saying it.
Throughout that whole thing, and when Ashley and Tucker got married, I kept thinking, she's got an angle. I don't know if she does or not. I can't decide.
I know. I don't think
she did kind of fall for him, don't you think?
I think at the end there she did. His sweet talk and
his charm.
And the sound of having their own company together, her power, it was some power for her too. So, and at that point she was very very angry with Jack and Diane, and I think she was doing anything she could to spite Jack. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, screw with them.
Yep.
All right. Christine returns to Genoa City, another old-timer.
I know. She came back.
Yeah. And today she ran into Danny Romalotti at the athletic club, and there seemed to be, for him anyway, I thought there were sparks there. But
there's some sparks, and, she, for her too, it's like never say never, and, Danny even said that when she told him that it was over between her and Paul, that Danny told his son Daniel that, I got this little, excitement, like, oh, maybe, he wants to take it slow, but that, she might be available again and rekindle something. And I have a feeling, Phyllis was wanting him to join her and Daniel for for dinner. And he said, well, I'll have to see, because Christine was standing behind him. And I could foresee, if there is something that happens with Danny and Christine, that Phyllis will be prying in the middle of that too. Mm-hmm. And because I think she was hoping to rekindle something with Danny too. She was feeling, I think, relaxed and good around him, and he was bringing out a good side of her before Christine came back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, mm-hmm. Right. I can see that. Mm-hmm. All right. So Kyle has met with Tucker, and he states that he will work with him. Audra convinced him that he should. Yeah. Mm-hmm. How did she do that, Luann?
3-letter word, sex.
I'm putting you on the spot here.
3-letter word, sex. Well, and talking that, he could be in a higher level position, the position that he wants, and, he's not getting right now.
Right.
That Jack is not promising him. And so Kyle's
pissed off because he's been egging Jack on to fire Billy.
Yes.
And bring him aboard as co-CEO.
Correct.
And Jack's I give Jack credit because he has no reason to get rid of Billy.
No, Billy has not.
Not at this point.
No, Billy has not done anything wrong. And
in fact, he's been very loyal to Jack and to Jabot. And I'd be upset with Jack if he just did it for that reason.
Oh, I know.
Kyle needs to grow up a little bit.
Exactly. It's like nothing. He just expects it to be handed back to him. And it's like, no.
You grew up in the Empire, and he thinks it's just his privilege to fall into that role.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I think Jack realizes that maybe I think he said it a few weeks ago. He made the comment to Diane that maybe I should have started him out at the bottom.
Yes.
And let him earn his promotions on the way up.
Yeah.
And I agree with that statement, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kyle has kind of a chip on his shoulder. Everything's been pretty much given to him. He was kind of the golden child, and and when he was falling to the wayside, there's some times with he and his what was I'm drawing a blank. His wife's previous.
Yeah. Now you got me drawn.
Oh, God, why can't I come up with her name? Phyllis's daughter.
And I was just looking at her.
Yeah. Anyway, when summer.
There you go.
When things went south.
I was going to say winter, but it's summer.
Yeah, it's summer. When things went south with summer, and he was having, just kind of throwing her to the wayside and, hitting it up with Audra. I think Jack became very disappointed in him, and
yeah, right, and rightly so.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
All right, Luann, let's move to super SUDSY questions.
Yes.
First one for you is Victor's memory loss being faked, or is it real?
I still think, because when he's having conversations with Nikki, he is more cognizant of everything, and he's saying, this is what I'm doing. He doesn't say like, oh, to her, he doesn't say, oh, did we have that conversation? He doesn't say things like that, because if Nikki was seeing anything, she'd be very concerned. And
that's a good point.
She would be saying, yeah, because Nikki spends the most time with him. And right. I would think if she was seeing something or a little nervous with his demeanor or forgetfulness, she'd be, she'd be voicing concerns to the children, right. And saying, Victor, we need to see someone,
Because he really hasn't shown that in front of Nikki, has he?
No.
I can't think that he has. You're right. That's right.
Yeah, and she says, because she'll pull him out and say, why are you doing this? And he's like, well, like you said, I'm trying to pull out the rat here and see who's the traitor. And right. She's like, it hurt our family with what you're doing. So when he's talking with her, I believe he's being honest, and he's not. So I think he's faking it, but...
Okay.
But he's doing a real good job of, showing, like yesterday with Nick and Victoria. I was surprised when he said, I said that, what he had talked with Nick about.
Yeah, if he's faking it, he's doing a hell of a good job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what I was going to say is one of my favorite movies is The Godfather. And in The Godfather, he says, hold your friends close, but your enemies even closer. And I think we're going to see that with Nate. It sounds like in tomorrow's episode that he's going to try to pull Nate out a little bit more. And the confusing part right now is, other than Nate trying to move up the ladder through Victoria, I haven't noticed anything else that he's been dealing with, unless, again, it's kind of outside of what we as the viewers have been aware of, if there's something else going on.
Here's my theory behind that, Luann.
Okay.
That I think Victor I think he's faking it, and I think what he's trying to... he wants the message to get through to Nate that Nate is in a position to take over, and then he's going to show up as the rat.
Oh, okay.
Because I think he's tied up. I think he cares about Victoria. Nate does, but I also think he's using her, and I think his bottom line is he wants to be like
Right.
the head cheese
Right.
at Newman. And I think that's exactly what Victor knows that, and he's trying to draw him out.
You know, and
I think he's the rat. And I think Victor knows it.
I think so too. And you know, the reality of it is, you know, you think Nate would realize this is a family company, and that's never going to happen. But he just wants.
Yeah, but what an opportunity if he's got dementia.
Yeah, correct.
Because at a minimum, that would line him up for. Because if Victoria gets to be CEO again or head of whatever, he'll be co. And then he would work on taking that over from Victoria. That's
Right.
my thought.
Yeah, oh, that's true because he is a co-CEO right now. Yes.
He'll be a co.
Yeah.
And then he'll figure out a way to bowl over Victoria, and then he'll be the head guy of Newman.
Okay.
And I think Victor knows it. That's why he's drawing him out.
Sure. We'll find that out in tomorrow's episode.
We'll
Maybe
see.
we'll see.
I think it's coming.
More.
Yeah. I think it's coming to a head.
Me too.
Pretty soon. Is Aunt Mamie's keeping her alliance to Tucker quiet going to blow up in her face?
I think so because Devon it was already approaching Tucker, saying, "I'll ask you one more time: Are you this? You know, are you the silent partner with Mamie? And what are your reasons for taking over Chancellor Winters?" And Tucker came clean, and he finally said, "Yes, I did do that with Mamie." I think it will blow up in Mamie's face. She really has a vendetta against Jill, but unless she could find another silent partner, I don't know. I think it could blow up for her.
That's not going to go well. Right. I agree. All right. Will Christine and Danny Romalotti reunite? You kind of touched a little bit on it. But what do you think, Leah?
I think there's a good chance of that. I think that they both have a little spark for what used to be when it was good. And and like we were talking earlier, I think Phyllis is going to be that person in the middle there. That it will be.
That'll be the next deal she gets herself caught up in. Phyllis.
Yeah, but I think Danny and Christine are both in different places now in their lives, and and more mature, than they were back years ago, and know what they like and don't like. And I don't think Christine will put up with Phyllis's crap anymore. And so,
No.
But Phyllis is going to push herself into that relationship too somehow, some way. Triangle.
Yep, I agree with you. All right, so in the end, do you think Kyle is going to go to work for Tucker?
He'd be you and I can both see he would be a fool to do that, because Tucker is I don't trust Tucker, and
Not at
Kyle
all.
I don't know why Kyle would trust Tucker, because his aunt Ashley doesn't trust Tucker, and his dad doesn't, his mom doesn't, and I think he's just so angry with his dad.
You know what I think? I think that he's setting a trap. I think he wants to get in there and be a spy for Jack and Billy. I don't think necessarily Billy, but Jack. And I think he will flush Tucker out, and then he's doing this with the hope of Jack bringing him in at a higher level position after he gets rid of,
because he flushes Tucker out. Oh, that's a good point. Because it sounds like Billy and because I think Billy and Kyle are kind of going to go at it too.
Oh, for sure. I think so.
Because Billy is tired of Kyle's, trying to push him out, and
his immaturity, which is interesting because that's where Billy was like 10 years ago.
I know. Exactly. So. And a couple things, with just other thoughts from this week. It was nice to see Chelsea was back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She came back, and, in reality, she came back from her maternity leave. But, now in Genoa City, she came back from visiting with her mom, and she and Billy, they rekindled their romance immediately.
Almost instantly.
Yeah. And then the other nice, it was, I didn't expect that to happen, when it did happen, was Adam and Sally.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Having
thanks for bringing that up. Yeah.
Having a night.
That was a surprise.
Having a long night of loving.
Of romance.
Of romance. Because he even... he got a text the next morning, "Are you coming into work?"
To work, yeah. So he's like, "Oh, crap."
Yeah. So, I always had a feeling that Sally and Adam would get back together. And it was just like,
too.
Boom, all of a sudden it was there and it happened.
I thought it'd be more gradual. I mean, I didn't think it was going to go right to the sack.
Yeah.
But, whatever.
And if she's as honest with Nick as she was that last time when Adam just gave her a kiss, Nick is going to be shocked too, like, that fast? You're back together.
It's definitely going to be all over.
Yeah.
If it's not, I think
Correct.
it's all over
Yeah,
already.
yeah.
But there's no way he'd let her back after that.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, and I could tell that Bill or Adam, when he came downstairs after leaving her apartment at the athletic club.
Yeah.
Nick is down there with Victoria, and Nick says, "You're a slow learner," or something like that. And he kind of gets this smile on his face, like, if you only knew.
Yeah, I know. And I give Adam credit that he didn't rub it in his face.
He didn't say anything.
No, he didn't. He kept it.
I think he had all he could do to hold that in, though.
Yeah.
So
Good.
Okay. Any other thoughts, Luann?
No, those were just my only thoughts.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
That's kind of a key part.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. Well, we'll see where it all goes for next time.
Oh, yes. I'm looking forward to that, and I look forward to dishing with you again in a week or two. Oh,
all right.
It won't be next week.
Luann's going on a cruise.
Yes.
She's roughing it.
I'm roughing it. I'm going on a cruise, so I will be...
It'll be a couple weeks, right?
Yeah. I'll be dishing with you again in a couple weeks.
In a few weeks.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, bye.
Until we dish again. Keep it sudsy. We're out.
Okay, bye.